Good afternoon, Manufacturing All-Stars, and welcome to another episode of Manufacturing Happy Hour. Today, we're going to start tackling the topic of the skills gap in the manufacturing sector. And we're going to start with an episode where we'll discuss two areas related to recruiting and retaining the next generation in the workforce. So, I am joined today by Jena Miller. Cheers, Jena.
Cheers.
To introduce Jena a bit more properly, she is one of my peers here in the Bay Area, but also a local leader within Rockwell's culture of inclusion, not only locally, but across the company as well. So we mentioned that in this episode we were going to talk about the skills gap from the generation standpoint, and when we're referring to the next generation coming into the workforce, we're referring to that group that's ages 18 to 32, otherwise known as the Millennials. In this case, we're really going to be focused on what that generation is looking for in the workplace, and in turn, how that translates to your companies being able to recruit and retain that talent. One area that we've seen is that millennials and the next generation are very driven by having purpose in their work. With that, Jena, can you possibly define that a little bit more for us, and in turn, how companies can be helping their younger talent define that purpose in what they're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's important to help millennials define their purpose at work because it connects their tasks to something larger, maybe more meaningful, which leads to them feeling fulfilled, and then ultimately leads to company loyalty, right? And I think that, if I may, Laszlo Bock said it most famously. So he is known for leading a very large population of millennials over at Google. And he said, over the coming decades, the most gifted, hardest working people on the planet will gravitate to places where they can do meaningful work and help shape the destiny of organizations.
That's a little dramatic. That is a little dramatic.
It is.
But drama aside from that quote, I think there's a good element of truth to that. And really what I would say the next generation is looking for is a workplace that's very mission driven, where they know what the company's mission is, and in turn translating that down to the roles that they have within the organization. Tackling this from another standpoint, more from an organizational behavior side, this is changing the dynamics between the manager and employee relationship. It's no longer that transactional boss to employee relationship, but the younger generation seems to be really looking for that constant feedback loop and more of a coach and a mentor than per se just a manager. Can you expand on that a little bit for us as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it best, right? The next generation workforce is looking for more of a coach, not necessarily a boss. And to explain that a little further, I'll put it into contrast. So you have the traditional employee-manager relationship is transactional, as you noted. It's the manager gives the employee a list of duties and those corresponding due dates, and the employee abides. What the new generation workforce is looking for is that embodiment of a coach, right? Someone who's going to give them that constant feedback and clarity on their purpose and help them even connect what they're doing today to that larger company forward mission, right?
That was an excellent answer, Jena, and I think that feedback loop is a huge part of this process. Now, today's episode was kind of just a teaser on this topic because there are a lot of different directions we can go, not only for the skills gap, but for the next generation in the workforce. So as a call to action, if you could, please leave a comment below in the comments on YouTube. That way we can see what other topics we might want to tackle next. In addition, there should be a video popping up like right around here in front of me and this pint glass right here. That's a link to another video that Rockwell actually made that goes into more depth on some millennial testimonials and what they're looking for in Rockwell, but that can translate to manufacturing companies in general. So with that, Jena, thanks so much for joining me on the show today.
Absolutely.
And for the rest of you out there, stay innovative, stay thirsty, and we will see you again soon.